Mission confirmed, we are safe on Mars. This is the first picture taken by Perseverance just seconds after landing. I feel like they make it look so easy, like they do so many amazing things. I wonder, like, why couldn't I have been a little passenger in the rover? I could have been chilling right here inside of it. And here's a hole drilled on Mars. I love how the picture quality is now like a lot better. It's so strange how non-alien it looks. Technically, this is an alien planet, but it just looks like a normal place. I don't know why, but we have this statue in Mongolia. We clearly have a reference to Alien versus Predator, right? We got Predator, he's riding Alien. Well, actually, that's something I didn't need in my head. It makes sense though. This looks pretty metal, and I can't think of anything more metal than Mongolian throat singers, so this forest noise amplifier is what my life has been missing. This actually sounds terrible, especially if you have like a bunch of loud monkeys around you. I'm pretty sure he's not in an area with monkeys, but monkeys I've seen just are loud and annoying. They'll mess with you, throw rocks in there. Here's Switzerland celebrating the Mars landing by projecting NASA onto their mountain range. Switzerland be doing this all the time. Got that good PR, always projecting stuff on their mountains. After keeping a golden eagle for about 10 years, using it to hunt and catch prey, the Kazakhs of Western Mongolia will let it fly away. Why is Mongolia so cool? This is a 50-foot tall sculpture in South Dakota named Dignity. I always love these massive statues that are just put with like the landscape in the background, like nothing else around. I think it looks kind of cooler that way. Rather than like in a big old like city with the traffic everywhere and honking, like this looks majestic. Someone built the Krusty Krab in Palestine, or they're still working on it, at least it looks like. This is actually a dream come true. Like for a long time, I've always wanted like a theme park that allowed me to go into the Krusty Krab, but I wanted it to be like the size of Plankton. Like I wanted to look up and everything's like massive. SpongeBob is like 30 meters high, which would be kind of terrifying, but I was a weird kid. In Alaska, nature greets you. We've got a fox, a bald eagle. Are these just two cats? This does seem like a pretty Alaskan thing. Oh no, that's a fox too. This dude is clearly feeding the animals, isn't he? How the hell does someone do this? This is an icicle in the shape of an arm. What would you do to craft that sort of thing? I guess, wait, this is not craft, is it? Is this a natural formation? Something scary about that too. Another picture from Mars. This time it's a sunset, and I know exactly why they chose to publish this one. It is clearly supposed to give a very Star Wars vibe, 1977. It looks exactly like that image. It's kind of scary. The only thing I'm missing is that second sun, but you know, we could always like blow up Earth and then maybe get that same sort of vibe. This fish was the oldest koi fish ever recorded. How do they know? Well, I'm guessing it was in a small pond that they know for sure. Can they really live up to that long? Is that normal? It says here their lifespan's 25 to 35 years. That's still pretty good for a fish though, right? Maybe that thing had like some tortoise DNA within it. Don't tortoises live to be 100? Here's a pineapple slicing machine in Germany. SpongeBob's gonna have to go live with Patrick again. Wow, that's one of those weirdly satisfying. Wow, that looks too perfect. Oh, that looks good. I don't even like pineapples, but I kind of want to eat that. Damn German efficiency right here. They're so efficient. Oh, speaking of tortoises, people trying to rescue these stunned sea turtles suffering from unusual cold. How are they all just chilling right here? I guess they all like need the warmth. You'd think they'd get irritated being so overly crowded. In the early days of WW1, aircraft didn't have machine guns, so enemy pilots would shoot at each other with other pistols. So this cage prevented the spent shells from ejecting into the cockpit or the floor, interfering with foot controls. Now that's like the ultimate drive-by. Roll up on someone with your plane. It's for Grove Street, motherfucker! I pointed my telescope at an imploding star for 16 hours. This is the result. It's actually amazing that like anyone can get access to a telescope that can do this. Well, I mean, not anyone. I'm sure this costed a ton of money, but I'm just saying it's still pretty cool. Queen elephant who roamed the plains of the Eastern National Park in Kenya for more than 60 years. She is one of Africa's few remaining super tuskers because they almost touch the ground. That thing looks like it could mess you up. I mean, all elephants look like they just choose to keep us alive, but this one especially. Ancient Greek architecture, man, where did we go wrong? Now we just make everything in like a basic rectangular shape. Why can't we have ladies holding up like the ceiling with their head? Here's a photo of northern Michigan this morning. Looks like it gets pretty cold up there, just a tad bit. Why does this look like an image out of The Day After Tomorrow, like apocalypse movie? This is kind of freaky. I'm sure this is referring to like that winter storm that everyone had, but I don't know. It looks like it could be a regular thing. This person grew a pumpkin inside of a plastic mold, and again, I don't know why this whole video has been so terrifying. You should probably cut out the eyes, put that outside on your porch, like have the flame light through your eyes. Bro, is this supposed to be Frankenstein? I'm just now realizing how massive the guy's forehead is. This is a hotel in Georgia with an amazing view. I didn't even know it gets this cold in Georgia, to be honest. Hopefully it's affordable, but I'm afraid it's gonna be $10,000 a night or something. Man dressed as the king of billiards with his two sons dressed as the cue ball and the 8 ball. This is from 1886. I love how we still had trolls back then. Trolls just seem to be a normal thing in human history. And this is just timeless. Like, you could do this today and people would laugh. Neil Armstrong's family watching their dad fly to the moon. I've never seen this image before, ever, but that is kind of insane. Instead of leaving and going and get some milk, I gotta leave and go to the moon. Much better excuse. The earliest surviving photo of the White House in 1846. I'm kind of amazed at how similar it still looks. I mean, obviously there's been things added on, but this is a pretty good picture. This is one of the Huskies that led the sled dog team that delivered a serum to a town in Alaska that was experiencing like a mass outbreak of something. They had delivered the antitoxins, but they had to traverse 674 miles. The crazy thing about these dogs, they're probably having almost a blast doing it. I mean, they're probably pushed kind of hard, but for the first, like maybe half of that, they probably had a lot of fun. The detail on this well-preserved Egyptian mummy. It is amazing that these things have survived so clearly for so long. I feel like I shouldn't be looking at this actually. This is how you get cursed. Adobe sculptures of Incan gods in... How have I never seen this? This is in Peru? How is this image not everywhere? This is amazing. Oh, apparently this is relatively new though. This was done like not super long ago, so I guess that explains it. There's a fin whale vertebrae underneath the freezing water near this part of Norway. This looks like a straight up dinosaur, and yeah, I feel like if any place were to still have dinosaurs, it'd probably be Norway. Maybe that's what made them such scary Vikings. They had to fight these massive creatures all the time. I guess in Paris, there's a quarter to scale replica of the Statue of Liberty. It's only 22 meters tall and faces west, which is in the direction of New York City. It's green too. Now, wait a second. Did the same thing happen? Did y'all originally make it brown and then, you know that this one was gonna turn green, or did you paint it green? That's actually the biggest question. I really want to know. Found an abandoned F-14 fighter jet while I was mapping the sea floor with Edge Tech side scan sonar. This is off Norfolk, Virginia. That is insane that you could just find something like this. It makes you wonder just how old and insane some of those things at the sea floor probably are. Here's a place in China, which I've also never seen. I've never seen mountains that look like this. How exactly does this sort of thing form? I mean, it doesn't look like there's any sort of tectonic plates, unless there are many tectonic plates. I don't know how it's so flat. What the hell is even going on here? So it's in the southern part of China. I have to keep that in mind next time. I know Beijing is up here. Very different part of China that I'm probably not used to. So this was at the Mexico Olympics in 1968. This was the first dude to do the high jump with his head going over first, which obviously revolutionized. I mean, this is how they all do it now. How insane must have that been? Like, what the hell is this guy doing? I didn't know that we could do that strat. Fun fact, I actually did high jump when I was in high school. Wasn't very good, obviously, just look at me. But I did jump over 5'6". That's the best I ever did. When you're at the peak here, you're supposed to pinch the penny. You arch the back and you pinch the penny. That means you squeeze the buttocks. It's gonna give you the most room to clear that bar. A human chess game played in 1924. You thought Harry Potter did it first? No, I don't think so. This game took 5 hours to end in a draw. Depressing. Please tell me when one piece took another piece, they actually got to stab the other guy. That'd be really entertaining, actually. I'd be out there if I got to see that. This does not look right, but a spring that flows through a living tree. I know that is actually kind of common. You can get a lot of fresh water that way too. Done some apocalypse research just in case I gotta learn to survive, which I won't, but still. Glitch in the Matrix in India confirmed. That is the only explanation. Gotta download that new patch, I guess. Another telescope that used long exposure. It took over 2 years to build this image. The vastness of space makes me question, like, everything. I just learned about this too. There are volcano snails that look like this, which looks like a creature from a movie. Their shells are made of iron and they live around the hydrothermal vents. They can survive up to 750 degrees Fahrenheit. Jeff Goldblum really wasn't kidding when he said life finds a way. Hammerhead shark photographed from the side. This is weird that you don't normally see this. Poor dude. I wonder, what is that like? What is it like to live as a hammerhead shark? Like, you don't see it in front of you, right? Do they just see on the sides? How do they eat? How do they survive? Downed German plane found in 1989. Was just about to say what type of German plane, but how did they just find this in 1989? Was this somewhere just lost in Russia? It had to have been. That's like the only spot, right? Yep, it was in Russia. It was attacking Leningrad. Not surprised. Saharan sand from Africa covering snow in Europe. What? What? Was this from like a dust storm? Did the wind blow a bunch of sand into... Oh, this is weird. That does not look real. This looks like we're on Mars. Oh, that's crazy. Incredible Norway. I mean, honestly, at this point, I'm questioning if Norway's existence is even real. I mean, it looks like a fantasy land. Plus, don't forget about the dinosaurs, scary Viking people. Fish skin can be grafted onto burns. It recruits the body's own cells and it covers... This... I don't like this. I'm afraid for the future. I mean, good for this guy though. I mean, if he needed it, that's awesome. But I hope he enjoys his life living as a mermaid. Turtle with is this moss? They got like a whole forest growing on it. Imagine we're all just living on a continent that's actually a giant turtle. A depiction of how many party balloons it would actually take to lift the house from Up. This is what it looked like in Up, but this is what it would probably actually look like. I'm guessing because they're party balloons. Like, what if you used a hot air balloon? I mean, well, either way. These are all the AM radio stations I've been able to pick up with a $3 radio from the thrift store. How is it that good? You must have like a massive satellite built on the back of it. I mean, it's from the thrift store. Sometimes you get good deals there, but I doubt it. AM waves do go really far. It is kind of crazy. This pool is full of crystals in a cave in New Zealand. It's hundreds of meters below the ground, far beyond where natural light has ever penetrated. Are these valuable? Because I'm just saying, like, maybe you should just take a chunk and go back up, see what happens. Buy a mansion, you know, never have to go down there again. That's probably how you get cursed too. Here's a hand-carved 1920s Mercedes Hirsch. They had so much time back then. Like, they was just doing this stuff on the regular. It's crazy. How much do you think this would cost? I know back then, probably insane amount, but I'm talking about now. Instead of shooting it down, German pilot Franz escorted a badly damaged US bomber to safety in 1943. The two pilots would meet decades later and become friends until death. Again, there's just so many little stories you don't hear about, but what are the chances? I wonder how, like, who puts these two together? This volcano in Sicily, Italy just erupted a couple days ago. That's how you know you're in the 2020s or 2021. There's so many crazy things happening that, I mean, a volcano eruption doesn't even like make a blip in the news. Oh, here's the first color photo of Perseverance. I guess they wanted a black and white one just to get that out real quick. This is not looking quite as red as I thought the red planet would be. This intact pyramid capstone, one of the few left in existence. Why do I feel like it's about to open up and give me like a Yu-Gi-Oh deck to battle it out? Gotta be careful. It could banish you to the Shadow Realm. 28-year-old Jenny posing for Columbia Pictures logo in 1992. Is this really what they used? Is this the lady? This is in Iran. This is some of the oldest windmills in the world, and they still spin. They have been milling grain for flour for about 1,000 years. Again, one of those things that you would think, like, I don't know, more people would know about. How are they still surviving like that? That's crazy. Some horses apparently are born black and then they slowly turn white, which, damn, really trying hard not to make a Michael Jackson joke. I saw this on Vsauce. Chimpanzee is memorizing the number in seconds, trying to figure out the order, the 1, 2, 3, 4, the order that it goes in. You can't do it. The humans cannot do it. But for some reason, this chimpanzee knows exactly. It's like got a photorealistic memory. I'm assuming like he's waiting to get like a banana or something. How is that memory that good? I can see the 1, 2, 3, and then after I can't get 9. I can't get 9 numbers. That's crazy. Here's a park in Japan because of course it's Japan. This looks very Japan, very kawaii. I'm not surprised either. Some images just look like places now. You would think I'd be better at GeoGuessr because of that, but not really. This 2-story camper. Those people that living in a van aren't doing it right. This is how you do it right. This is the van life or the camper life. I bet you this probably takes a lot of setup though. It'd probably be annoying every night doing this. This bird is using its wings as shade to fool fishes. All right, birds are again getting a little too advanced for me, that's for sure. Oh, did it get it? Yeah, it worked. In 1996, a then 8-year-old female gorilla rescued a 3-year-old boy who fell 25 feet into her enclosure and broke his hand. She carried him near a service door and handed him over to the... This hurts. Are you telling me that a gorilla saved this kid 20 years almost exactly before the incident with Harambe? I don't want to live in this world anymore. And now this does not look so much like Japan. Oh, is this The Last Samurai too? Why is this so dark? Desolate. I don't see something like this usually from Japan. Inside the Pulp Fiction glowing suitcase, just like a little light bulb. This is kind of sad. I always wondered. Man transporting a hive of bees by holding the queen in his fist, making the rest of the hive swarm to his arm. That seems a little dangerous, man. I don't know. Something doesn't feel good about this. Abandoned mall filled with snow. This is not going to be the last one. I bet you these images are going to be popping up more and more often as malls just disappear. You know those YouTubers that like sneak into abandoned places? Like, that is just such a great niche to get into. With all the malls that are closed down now, or that will be pretty soon, like infinite amount of videos to be made with these things. Where the Northern Lights meet the Milky Way. This is a pretty cool image because you normally see everyone focus just on the Northern Lights, but to see everything, the vastness of space in the background, it's pretty cool. Tattoo under UV light. There's UV light tattoos now. I've seen like 3D tattoos, but this is getting nuts. This is a lonely lighthouse in Iceland, which is a perfect place for surviving any possible zombie apocalypse or pandemic for that matter. I mean, as long as he's got enough resources, there's just no way though. There's no way he's got enough resources. That doesn't even seem like a very useful lighthouse. Look at this massive like rock that's blocking this whole side. Like if you're a boat coming from this angle, you ain't gonna see no light. A Korean news program actually filming on the top of a building instead of using green screen. That's right, that's the real way. Although, don't look as nice, that's for sure. That's why you use green screen, because in reality, most mornings would probably look like this. Now this is okay. This isn't too bad. Is there nothing shielding them from the elements either? There's probably not much. Imagine that a draft of wind comes through here, just blows this man off his chair down the building. This vintage photo of an elephant herd in Kenya. That is a lot of elephants. I didn't even know elephant herds get that big, which is sad, because that's probably more normal. Speaking of airplane drive-bys, this dude shot down a Japanese aircraft with just a pistol. And even better, he wasn't even in his airplane at the time. He was in his parachute. He became the only pilot in history to down a plane with a hand. Oh my God. He must have just lost his mind while he is in air. He's, oh my God. This is a 250-year-old vault, which is kind of funny because this looks just as secure as they are today. How many keys does this require? Oh yeah, you knew those sounds were gonna be good. Why is that so satisfying to hear? This wasn't redone? There's no remodeling on this? How does this look so good? I've always wanted to go to this Cartoon Network hotel. It's located in Pennsylvania. Bunch of Cartoon Network references. It would be cool to just stay there one night. This is a frozen waterfall located in Minneapolis, Minnesota. They got waterfalls there? Minneapolis is a massive city. I didn't know about a waterfall. It's frozen. What cave is this? Now, speaking of that, there you go. Just build a little snow castle. Just casually building this stuff. Like, it's amazing. Scythian husband and wife. Oh my goodness. This is 1000 BC. This is dark and heartbreaking at the same time. This is how they found him? Oh my God. In the northern island of New Zealand, this is considered one of the most symmetrical volcano cones in the world. Yeah, this definitely looks terrifying. This looks like an eruption was recent. I don't know how active it is, but it just looks, you don't want to test it. World's tallest outdoor elevator climbs an amazing 1,000 feet up a mountain in this part of China. Looks like just a building, but that's just a straight up elevator. There's no rooms in there. How did they even build this? Oh, is this a ski resort? That explains it now. Random elevator just on a mountain. I was confused about that one. Greenland looks like some weird fantasy movie. Like it looks kind of Disney, but at the same time with like a hint of darkness. I'm sensing more Tim Burton from this. Like something feels off. Like there's murders every Tuesday night or something, and the whole town goes to it and like cheers it on. Sweden has statues, monuments, buildings of planets placed around the country, which creates the solar system in scale. Wow, I didn't notice this. When I went to Sweden, I didn't see anything like this. I just saw like way taller, more Chad versions of me basically everywhere, so that was what I was mainly disappointed about. Should have maybe paid more attention. A staple city. A city made out of staples. You could do something like this. This doesn't seem too difficult to make. Time consuming, but not too difficult. US Dollar Redesign. This does look way more futuristic. I like these choices here. The JFK one would be pretty cool. Front and back. This actually looks really good. Wait, why aren't we redesigning more currency? This is actually really well made. I'm gonna make a video on that one day. Thanks to the February patrons. France doesn't exist. Roomel 57. I'm about a nut. The Glen Council. Thick Boy 3000. Stormtrooper 501. RalseiTree. AryanAfterHours. Pobsnitz. Pelovski. Patrick C. Manny 74. Mac. LuxembourgLover. FusionWolf. Full Send Nick. EpiNick. Elijah Senpai. Dalton D. Anikit. And BallinLikeStalin.